therapy has been around way back in the days of the Egyptians. They understood the value of light, and light is a nutrient, just like food and water is. So we have to have light in our life to survive. That's why people, when they get sad and they get that other issues going on when they don't get enough sun and enough light. So light is a basic nutrient that we need. Now, how do we get it? We are using lights. Traditionally, we used red, and then we started using infrared with red, and then we were adding the blue, and then we learned about green, and then we started adding all of those together. And now we combine even those colors to make what I call polychromatic light. Now, people have been calling polychromatic light the combination of red and infrared for a long time. To me, that's not really polychromatic light, because when you combine red with infrared, your brain still sees and processes red. But when I combine colors like a red and a green on a pad per se, and I'll show you real quick so you'll understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to put red and green on, and on this side, you can see that the red lights are on and the green lights are on. But when I put that up against my skin, what color does your brain see? Yellow. So now we process a third color. So we got yellow, we've got, oh, my favorite, which is, whoopsie, did I shut you off? I think I shut it off. There. When I put blue and green on together, look at that beautiful turquoise color. I mean, turquoise to me is very soothing, and each color has their own property. And we can talk about that for a little bit too. I get ahead of myself when I start talking about the turquoise, because that's something that people don't have available to them in other tools. One of the things that was real important to me when I developed these tools was the ability to do that and not be limited to a red pad or a blue pad. Or, well, now some companies are coming out with green, but that's it. That's in their pad, a green. So now you got to buy another pad that's just green, and now you're back to carrying all these tools. Versus we put them all in one, and then we added the sound frequencies to that, and those combinations are incredible for healing.
Yep. And you mentioned that this has been something that's been used for a long, long time. Are there any scientific studies to back up the use of these lights?
Oh, there might be 1 or 2 out there if you really go and dig. No, I'm just kidding. There's like 10,000 of them, and then some. And every day more and more come out, because the researchers are really starting to understand how powerful this is. And a lot of the studies are on red and infrared, but more are coming out with blue. We're hearing more studies about green, and we are pushing the envelope a little bit with some of our colors, but we go back to the 70s and we follow the ways of the training back then, when the guy was using lenses over their eyes just to create color, and what those different color properties are. So we base our colors on those.
In terms of our pets, what kind of things are these lights helping with?
So the biggest things that we work with our animals are pain related issues and then wound healing. Okay. So anytime we've got an open wound, we want to heal that as fast as possible, especially with our pets. They're not the easiest things to doctor and keep bandaged. I don't know about you, but I'm always trying to take that thing off. So we want to help accelerate the healing process. And that's what the lights will do. They'll accelerate the healing and stimulate the cellular repair. So that will happen faster. And when we add the blue to that, now we have the antibacterial and antifungal properties of that. And so it's kind of like your antibiotic ointment that you would put on an open wound. So if you put red and blue on an open wound, you're going to have healing much better and all naturally, as opposed to doing it a traditional way where it could take 10 days before you need your stitches out and 6 weeks before your bone is not broken. We can speed all of that up. And then the other big issue that we work with is joint pain. We have animals, dogs, pets, you name it, from little tiny young ones to big old dogs, or even old little tiny dogs to big young dogs. They all have joint issues at some point. The bigger the dog, the more prone they are to getting those joint issues, early on in their life. And if you happen to be using your dog in a performance setting, say you're doing agility with them and they're doing a lot of that back and forth, they're going to develop joint problems. So you want to help them before, during, and after. We don't need them to wait until they've got a joint problem to support that. You want to